Hello. Well, the Israelites have had a few years of peace, and they're happy with their king. And a few years go by, and everything seems to be at peace. And I forgot to tell you, in the meantime, King Saul has gotten married, and he has a son. Jonathan is his name. And so some time goes by. I'm going to pass by some things that don't seem quite so important. But people had heard that King Saul was really doing a good job, but he started to get into himself a little bit. He started to think, I'm pretty good. He was tall, handsome, strong, and had peace in Israel. But he started to depend on himself more than God and more than Samuel. And things got so good that he thought, well, this is a good time. I'm going to start organizing my armies a little bit. So he had an idea of he said, I'm going to have 3,000 men that are at the ready all the time in case something happens. So he took 2,000 of the men and he put them out in the field, so to speak, into different forts or garrisons to be at the ready in case something happened. And he took 1,000 men and he put them in another place with his son Jonathan, who was now a young man. And he thought he had everything pretty much in order. But you know what? He was getting so much into his own abilities and what he could do. He said, oh, I don't need Samuel and this. I just don't need any help. I don't need God. But you know what? The Philistines at this time were pulling a dirty trick. They were, I got it here. It says they were cunning. And the word cunning means divisive, scheming, manipulative, deceptive, and clever. So this is the way the Philistines decided to fight their next battle. And they started slipping in men into these garrisons like they were friendly and they wanted to join the army. And the men, even the Philistine men, these deceptive men, even started to schmooze the rest of the army and said, oh, you don't need to have your weapons at the ready, you know. And they started taking away their swords and their shields and their spears and said, we have peace, everything is fine. Well, Jonathan heard about this and he wasn't so happy with it. And he had his men always at the ready. But the Philistines were very sneaky this time in their war. And they took away the weapons of the 2,000 soldiers, and they wouldn't even let them make any more because the Philistines were starting to work their way up through the ranks in the Israeli army. And I'm going to leave it there for right now, but I'm so glad that Jonathan found out about it. He's almost doing better than his dad, Saul. So I'm going to leave it off there right now. I'll be back.